Welcome to the 6th election of American history. It occurred in 1808 from November 4th up to December 7th. The tension was rising within the US and Europe. Incumbent President Thomas Jefferson retired after his second term, cementing the two-term rule set by Washington. A lot of things happened. The Barbary War came to an end in 1805 after the US win over Tripoli. Also, the Lewis and Clark expedition, a key part of American history, ended in 1806 and was a success. But the main political issue of the time was the rising tensions between the US and Britain. The first issue came with the Chesapeake Leopard affair, in which the British ship Leopard fired and killed American sailors, and also forced the survivors to become part of the British Navy. At the time, Britain had a shortage and needed more sailors, due to the Napoleonic Wars being at its height. Americans were angered by this, and Thomas Jefferson took action in 1807. The Embargo Act of 1807 was created. This was significant since it banned almost all trade with foreign countries, especially Britain, as a way so they would stop hurting American sailors and American hegemony. While all of this was happening, the Aaron Burr conspiracy was occurring. Basically, after Aaron Burr was dismissed from politics due to him killing Hamilton, Burr asked for monetary help from Britain in order to try to break up the United States. He even thought about going to Louisiana Territory to form his own nation, and also thought about capturing southwestern places like Texas and more. In the end, he was trialed and Justice Marshall let him off the hook, since technically they were only plans and not actions by Burr, sadly. This made Burr scrutinized everywhere and made him a traitor, proving Hamilton's point about Burr long ago. Lastly, in 1807, the Act of Prohibiting Importation of Slaves passed that made the importation of slaves illegal, but smuggling sadly still occurred. For the Democratic Republicans, the nominees for presidents were James Madison, Secretary of State, James Monroe, Minister to the United Kingdom. Last presidential candidate was Vice President George Clinton, while for the Vice President nominee they were John Quincy Adams, Senator from Massachusetts, George Clinton, Vice President during Jefferson's second term. Lastly, Henry Dearborn, Continental Army member and Secretary of War under Jefferson. In the end, they nominated centrist James Madison and George Clinton, again for Vice President. Clinton being nominated was quite historical since few VPs have held office under different presidents. While for the Federalists, they renominated the same ticket from 1804, that being Charles Cotesworth Pinckney and Senator Rufus King. The Democratic Republicans were okay, but the pressure with bad British relations was becoming a strain. Federalists hoped they could make gains in 1808, but still the party was on the same course as 1804. And the winner was James Madison, becoming the fourth president in American history. James Madison won with 122 electoral votes, and Clinton stayed as the fourth vice president, while Charles Cotesworth Pinckney got 47 electoral votes, better than last time but still lost. Surprisingly, Clinton got 6 votes for president from his home state. This election showed not how much support the Federalists had gained, but how much the Democratic Republicans had lost since 1804. In the Senate, the Democratic Republicans won in a landslide, winning 28 out of the 34 seats, with 18 being the minimum for a majority. For the House, Democratic Republicans won again with a supermajority with 115 seats. Democratic Republican Joseph Varnum was Speaker and was the 6th Speaker after McCone retired from the role. Madison took his oath of office on Saturday, March 4, 1809. Within the capital, the rise of tensions with Britain would grow, leading to the War of 1812. And thus, the 6th election of American history came to an end. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned for the next video.